Hello, this is Marcus. This morning I'm coming to you from the Las Vegas office of Marcus & Millichap. This morning we'll be discussing the Property Improvement or PIP plan. This is an ongoing process where hotels continually upgrade their systems with whatever requirements that may come into play. So the Property Improvement Plan or PIP is something that's mandated by the franchise that usually comes out every 7 to 10 years depending upon the age of your property or if any new initiatives that have been designed by the franchisor to come out and take a look at what your hotel would need to be. 3 different types of PIPs that are going on right now is Hampton Inn has got their Forever Young initiative, Holiday Inn Express has got their Formula Blue, and Comfort Inn and Suites is upgrading with their what's called Truly Yours. La Quinta is going with what they're calling LQ Up. These are some of the major PIPs that are going on in the industry right now. Over the years, the experience that I've gained, there are 3 main things that an owner needs to be concerned with when he's starting his PIP. The first thing is to start early and be prepared to spend money. The key takeaway from that, the PIP is going to cost. Ideally, most clients that I've worked with, I've recommended that they reserve 4% of your revenue for furniture, fixtures, and equipment. And even reserving that 4% will not be enough. There will be a requirement for initial funds to complete your PIP, both from ordering it and installation. The second major point to be concerned with when you're starting your PIP is to be involved in the process all along the way. Not only when the property is actually going through the PIP, but through the process of identifying what areas need to have the PIP and what the structure and what is the plan to do that PIP. Most of the properties I've worked with so far have done it gradually, i.e. we would work on our lobby, front desk, breakfast area first, do that. Obviously, so you don't have much disruption in your rooms, but most of all, you'd want to go in, and if you're having to upgrade your rooms, you'd want to do that in your low season, obviously when you have the highest amount of vacancy, which detracts from rooms being offline. Says you can definitely negotiate with the franchise about what PIP items need to be done and when. Don't just take it as a hard and fast, okay, this PIP has to be done in this stages. All of those things can be negotiated with the savvy owner of a hotel. Specifically, if you're buying a hotel and it's come up that you have a PIP coming due as a change of ownership PIP, that is something that definitely needs to be negotiated. Typically, they want to see you complete your PIP within 12 to 18 months. However, if you're buying at the time where you're going into the peak season, that's unreasonable to say that, okay, I'm going to buy this hotel and then all of a sudden take my rooms offline because I need to redo the rooms going into the high season. So being involved in that process and obviously negotiating with your franchise is a key to making that a successful process. The third major point that you'd want to consider in preparing for your PIP is to stay on top of the trends. What is the industry saying that needs to be happening? Your guests should give you some insight of that as well, what they're seeing and what they're like. And you can always take those kind of ideas that your guests are giving you and refer that back to the franchise and say, this is what my clients are telling me, and kind of build a dialogue with that. I think that's the best way of staying on top of whatever trends. And these trends are all ongoing. Different regions have different requirements for what their PIP might be based upon your locality. So staying on top of the trends, not only in your locality, but nationwide, is always valuable. So finally, the key takeaways as a wrap up, there are 3 major things you need to be thinking about with your PIP. First, to start early and be prepared to spend. It's going to be expensive. The second step is to be involved in the process. Think about what's going to happen on your property and when, most of all, what's happening in the industry. And third, stay on top of the trends. What's happening in your particular franchise, especially in your locality, that's going to make a difference when you do begin the PIP process. This is Marcus, and thank you for listening. If you like this video, would you please subscribe and refer it to your friends?